Hello. Can I get some background information about you, Miss Jackie Amis?
Yes, I am the coordinator of community and public affairs here at WVAS Radio, which is licensed to Alabama State University. I've been here for 10 years, this stint previously in 1984. I worked as news and public affairs director here at the station for 3 years. Uh, Prior to coming here, I've have more than 30 years in communications, public information, and public relations, marketing, and advertising, and 15 years experience working with state and local governments. I was the public information officer for the Montgomery County Commission for 13 years prior to coming here.
Okay. What is your definition of public relations?
Public relations, it's two words, but it involves more than dealing with the public and being nice to the public. Public relations has all of the parts of marketing and advertising and communications. If you don't communicate with the person, it's all for naught. So the term public relations, in my opinion, is a little misleading because a lot of things go into being a public relations person. So that you have to have a knowledge of your marketing. You have to be able to write. You have to be able to comprehend and to relay ideas to the public.
Okay. What is a typical day like for you?
Here at WVAS, a typical day starts about between 5 a.m. and 5:30. I am on the air at 6 o'clock, 6 to 9 with Mel Marshall and his program called the 3MS, the Mel Marshall Morning Show. I am what you would call maybe his sidekick. He'll throw things out, and our personalities are very, very different, so the chemistry sort of works out there. I come off as the rough and tough and mean, and he has compared me to the witch on the Wizard of Oz. I think I'm a very nice person, but I play that on the radio. I am a straightforward person, and some people misinterpret that because I am straightforward, but I don't want there to be any misunderstandings if I give directions or I say things. I have had to apologize. I've misspoke, but I think I would call myself more so direct than anything.
How have you integrated emerging technology into your daily work?
Fortunately, when years ago, 20 years ago, I was one of the first people to have a desktop. It used to be the big computers that ran the tapes and so on and so forth. So first person to have a desktop down at the county commission, was given a lot of training on just being able to open up a document and so on, and finding out about the things that the computer could do. Now more so I rely on other people, really, other than my desktop here and the few things that I'm allowed to do, like email documents, music, and ideas. I use a lot of email. Our social media is mainly handled by our students and our employees that the students work for. We have 3 radio stations emanating from this building. Our main station, which is HD2, second station, Bama State Radio, which is for the students, by the students for the most part, and our third station, which is ASU Radio. So I rely a lot on some of the younger employees and the students who teach me a lot. Twitter, if you wanted to find us anywhere in the world, you could log onto our website. We have, you can listen to us on your computer, or we have apps. So we get mail from around the world, and it always makes me feel good when our servicemen email us and say, well, I was listening to that program, or who is that artist that you played at 3:30, and so on and so forth. So that, as you may have heard when you were coming in, I was asking someone to send a high-def logo to another party here in the city. So they keep that kind of stuff on their computer, and as I said, I couldn't make it without them. I could not.
As a public relations professional, how can you use social media to benefit you?
Well, as mentioned before, we have on our websites, we have Twitter, we tweet. Twitter, Facebook, and so on. And people my age tend not to be so socially media savvy, myself included. I have a Facebook page that I check a couple times a week. But again, just with the younger people and relating to the younger people, it's much because they walk around with their iPads and so on and so forth all day. The people my age, pretty much, if not the old-fashioned way by telephone or email, we leave it to. But it does exist. You have to deal with it. But I have good teachers in my younger employees and the students that they teach. So.
Were you open to embracing the technological trends on your job?
Yes. At first I wasn't. I was like, oh no, something else I gotta do. But now that I see the power that it has and the ability, as I said before, to reach worldwide, I'm glad we're able to do it. But at first I was saying, okay, what is a LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter or why would I want to do that? But to reach a certain audience, you have to. Now, most of my constituents, we still do email or old-fashioned phone mail or voicemail. But I have to reach more than just people in my age group, baby boomers. I have to reach Gen Xers. I have to reach millennials. So it's a steady learning process. Steady learning process.
What differences did you notice from having implemented the social media tools?
I was open to a whole new audience. Repeat the question, please.
What differences did you notice from having implemented the social media tools?
That I couldn't understand what they were saying. Like YOU is you, and R is the letter R, and my son does this. And oftentimes I've had to go to younger people and say, okay, well, what does this symbol mean? It's a steady learning process, which I love to learn. So it's steady. And at first I was going to say, no, I really don't have the time. But as a public relations person, I have to reach everybody.
What inspired you to pursue a career in public relations?
Excuse me, turn it